Here's an image of the Shoal Canyon landfill located in Glendale, California. This 553-acre landfill takes in an average of 700 tons of trash per day and is expected to reach its capacity in 2020, though its lifespan may be expanded. The landfill system in place today is a temporary solution to a growing permanent problem in the United States. The trash barges floating in the New York harbor were one example of people not thinking in terms of the future when it comes to waste disposal. While the amount of waste we produce is rapidly increasing, we are not improving our techniques of waste disposal fast enough to keep up. Growing waste production and population size are not going to be taken care of with barges or landfills. I took this picture on my way home one day. Trash like this can be found almost everywhere you look in Los Angeles. Although it may not look like a lot of trash, it shouldn't be considered a part of the city. We shouldn't say, oh well, and ignore the problem that literally surrounds us every day. We walk by trash so often that we don't even react to it anymore. As easy as it is, don't just ignore the problem, notice it, and choose to do something about it. I'm sure that you've seen people digging through trash cans at some point in your life. Many of these people do this to find recyclables to exchange for money that they use to pay for their basic needs. Many people consider scavengers to be thieves or eyesores, and have proposed anti-scavenging laws because apparently trash is actually city property. Action like this is detrimental to the environment and criminalizes homelessness. Here's a young scavenger at Agbogbloshie, an electronic waste dump located in Ghana. Electronic waste is a dangerous form of trash because it is known to cause health problems. Knowing this, there are thousands of people living in Agbogbloshie, many of whom scavenge for metals which they trade for money. Smoke from fires that burn these metals fills the air which is breathed in by these men, women, and children. Don't just throw away electronic waste thinking it'll disappear. Old computers, printers, televisions, VCRs, cell phones, and hundreds of other unwanted electronic products are referred to as e-waste. There are many recycling programs available across the country to take e-waste to dispose of it properly. If the products still work, there's also the option of taking it to the local thrift store. Any option is good as long as you're not just throwing your e-waste in the garbage or on the street. Two women are shown in the picture looking through waste for valuables in a massive landfill. Entire communities of people have developed out of the wastefulness of first world countries. While it is fascinating that people will survive in any situation, we cannot continue in this direction if we really want a healthy future for us and for our children. In this picture, we see a young boy wading through a flooded street full of trash. It shows that waste manifests in every country of the world. People eventually learn to live around it, which is why it has become such a massive problem. Trash in the streets has become a normal part of life, and the environment is paying for it. Dirty water is one of the world's biggest health risks today. Water contamination occurs all over the world and causes millions of deaths a year. Many communities do not have any options when it comes to water, and are either forced to pay for water or to drink the water that has been polluted by the waste of factories or other large companies. There are also about 100,000 animal deaths relating to disposable plastic bags per year. Marine animals suffer the most from these deaths, many of whom consume these plastics after confusing them with jellyfish. Switching to reusable bags and recycling as much as possible is the least you can do. Animals shouldn't be forced to adapt to our trash-filled environment or be killed by it. The combination of large populations and carelessness is not good news for the Earth. Bonfires create a large amount of garbage, a lot of which ends up in our oceans. Styrofoam used during these bonfires is highly detrimental to the environment and is estimated to take over 1 million years to totally decompose. Bonfires represent the carelessness and lack of awareness that leads to the deterioration of our oceans and land. There's an estimated 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic currently floating in the ocean today, many of which have bunched up and created a trash island located in the North Pacific Gyre. Plastic lasts for up to 500 years in our oceans and is broken up into microscopic pieces which can absorb toxins, which are often consumed by animals, some of which die and some of which we consume. Coastal countries generate nearly 275 million tons of plastic waste, a lot of which ends up in the ocean. Plastic waste is still very much on the rise today. A switch to reusable water bottles and food containers and all other reusable substitutes for plastic could prevent a lot of plastic waste in our oceans and in our landfills. Although people in the U.S. have improved in recycling paper over the years, paper waste still accounts for about 26 million tons of solid waste, or 16% of solid landfill waste. Paper left to decompose in landfills releases methane, a greenhouse gas 23 times more potent than carbon monoxide. Unsubscribe to magazines, junk mail, and any other paper products that you know are a waste and recycle. Fast food restaurants are one of the largest creators of trash in developed countries such as the United States. Fast food garbage makes up an estimated 50% of street litter and of the litter floating in the Pacific Gyre. Billions of fast food containers are thrown away every day, going into the streets, gutters, and bodies of water. Avoiding fast food places can greatly decrease trash consumption. In a world where people starve to death every day, an estimated third of all food products are lost or wasted in food production and consumption systems. In the U.S., organic waste is the second highest component of landfills and the largest source of methane emissions. About 20 pounds of food is wasted per person per month. Think about what you eat and try to make changes to your lifestyle. Composting transforms waste into soil and saves space in landfills and money on trash disposal. Tea bags, newspapers, fruits, vegetables, eggshells, and lint can all be composted. Composting can suppress plant diseases and clean contaminated soil, so while you're lessening the load on landfills, you're also doing your plants a favor. The truth is that trash is inevitable as long as consumption is still occurring. We cannot eradicate trash, but we can learn how to keep our trash from causing other people physical harm. There are sustainable uses for trash such as art, recyclables, compost, architecture, and so on. Instead of ignoring the problem, we can grow to accept and even embrace it in our society. Now that we are actually seeing waste in the media in movies like WALL-E, we have gotten past the issue of raising awareness, and we need to move to the point where we are implementing solutions and alterations to our lifestyle to do our part in challenging the waste issue. We know that there is no bright future for us on this planet if we keep moving in the same direction that we currently are in our wasteful lives. Real, lasting change will not come without a lot of work, so try your hardest every morning to think about your actions and know that trash doesn't just go away. Hopefully you feel the need to do something about your environment fast. Get involved, educate yourself, and don't be afraid to speak your mind. Or otherwise, if you want, you can always live for the money and die a rich grouch.